Hello.
Did I fool you a little bit? I know I didn't. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you can tell by the thumbnail, by the title and by my look that I tried to transform myself into the one and only Nikkie tutorials. I'm not going to ramble too much because this is the second time I'm filming today. I really like my hair like this. I really like the clips. I'm feeling myself. I actually really like how this look turned out, and if you would like to see how I got from my little self to this princess then just keep on watching. The universe really does not want me to film this video. I get 2 spots around my lip line. I never had that, one up here and one down here. I'm not giving up. I want to film this video because Nikkie is one of my favorite people in the world. Let's get started. Today I'm going to recreate one of my favorite looks. Not basic, but like kind of basic. She just knows what looks good on her, and I want to look like that. Warm toned browns are my faves. I personally would start with my eyes, however Nikkie never does that, so we're going to start off with the base. And in Nikkie's words, not to prime is a crime. I personally don't prime. I only moisturize my face and then get on with the foundations. But let's do what Nikkie does. She looks stunning. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Well, I know I'm doing something wrong, but majority of primers break me out, but I don't mind. If I'm going to look like Nikkie today, then I don't mind. I'm going to start with something that's very new to me. I'm trying out the Versailles Skin Tune Blur. I only have the travel size because if I didn't like this, I wasn't going to waste my money. It literally smells like glue. Let's try this out. I'm only putting this in my T-zone. I'm going to use the pipette like this instead because it seems to not want to pick up. Let's see. It full on smells like glue, you guys. It's even drying a little bit like glue. Nice and matte in the center, but I'm going to double up. I'm taking my YSL Touche Eclat. Oh, I love the smell of this. Nikkie loves her full coverage foundation and so do I. That's why we're bezies. I'm going to use Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. She is an affiliate with Juvia's Place, and if you want to save some money, use code Nikkie. Oh, I picked up like way too much. It started oxidizing, probably because of the primers. See, that's why I'm not a massive fan of primers. It's affecting the formula of my foundation. And this on its own is good enough for me, you know. My skin is a little bit smoother, but it's also a little bit more orange than usual. But how good is this? Like, such a good coverage. So as we can see, a primer does make a difference. It affects the formula of your foundation. Like, my forehead seems to be very orange, but it's okay. We're gonna combat that with a full coverage concealer. I don't have Shape Tape. I don't use it. I didn't buy it. I didn't try it out. Instead of using Shape Tape, instead of using Jouer, I'm just going to go with a good old Maybelline Age Rewind. Whoa, I told you the full coverage and I've put way too much on. She always covers her lips, so let's do that table. And I feel like Nikkie already. The product myself and Nikkie like a lot is the Fenty Beauty powder in butter. However, she uses way much more than myself, but let's follow her lead. She knows her thing. She looks flawless, okay? So let's try it out. And this is the only powder puff that I have, a Wet n Wild one from like this correcting primer. This is gonna take ages. No wonder she's got a massive puff. She must go through so much powder. And honestly, I have no idea whether Nikkie leaves it at that. I'm going to leave it to bake and move on to my brows. She usually does them off camera, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to brush through my brows. Should probably shave them, but ain't nobody got time for that. And of course, I'm going to use my trusty eyelash pomade in blonde. Nikkie's brows are fairly straight. Mine are arched. let's try and work with both my brows and make it look a little bit like Nikkie's. I'm going to start with drawing a line underneath, and then her tail. It's quite short, so I'm going to fill my brows in up to that point. There will be some hair left and it will create a shadow, but let's just try and work with this. My pomade seems to be so much darker than normal because everything is powdered, so the pomade is gripping onto my face a little bit more. Kind of, not quite, but it doesn't look bad. Let's carve the brows out. I'm using the same concealer, Maybelline Age Rewind. Alright, Nikkie does carve her brows out with a different product to what she primes her eyes with. Today I'm going to prime my eyelids with one of her favourites, P. Louise Base shade Rumor 0.5, which is exactly the same one that Nikkie uses. She uses a tiny little sponge. I don't have one of those. Actually, let's use my face sponge. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot actually. I'm getting a small sponge to apply my eyeshadow primer with because I like that a lot. The look Nikkie is wearing in this picture is quite basic, warm tones, browns. I love that. I wear that every day. I'm going to use the Vibo Katosu palette because it's got that beautiful warm brown in there and I like it a lot. I'm going to start with a fluffy brush and following Nikkie's technique of eyeshadow, I'm going to place this above my crease. She does have hooded eyes and she likes to make the eyes look bigger. I'm putting the lighter shade from the Earth Duo above my crease, just tapping this in. And the reason why I chose this brush is because I can slowly start blending the edge. She always takes her eyeshadow up to her brow. I'm going to do this too. This is something very new to me. I never do this. It says it always like starts her nose contour off. Kind of does actually. I'm also going to place this shadow on the outer third. I have no idea if Nikkie has cut her crease in this. I don't think I'm going to. I believe in this look in particular, I think she's wearing just mattes and she's got the shimmer in her inner corner. I'm going to do that too. However, I don't have a matte white in the Katosu palette, so I'm going to take my Alyssa Edwards palette, but you can use any white that you want. I'm not going to bother cutting my crease. You could, but this is a very simple look. However, I'm taking that white shade and I'm taking it just above the crease. And then going back to my Katosu palette, I'm taking that warm toned brown again, just to blend the edge of that white. I'm going to take another brush and take the darker earth shade, tiniest bit, just to put on like the outer corner, just to make it a little bit darker. Jesus Christ, what was that? Just right here, just a little tap tap tap, not much. And then I'm also blending this in. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to take the highlighter. It's called Rust, and I'm putting that on my inner corner. Okay, I'm gonna do my other eye off camera and I will be right back. I don't want to jinx it, but I kind of look like Nikkie. I'm going to briefly move on to the face and then come back to the eyes to do the lower lash line. And since this blending the shadow into the front of the brow is meant to help with the nose contour, I'm going to use the same shade. I actually really liked this as a bronzer last time and I will be using it as a bronzer today. This might be a bad idea, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I like it a lot. Alright, let's bronze. I'm taking the same shade, the lighter shade from the Earth Duo, to bronze my face. Look how pretty that is. I want that shade in a big pan so I can use it as a bronzer. Nikkie doesn't seem to contour all that much, but I am going to do that a little bit. I'm taking Revolution Pro HD Contour Palette, and I want to hit the back of my cheekbone, just right here, just the tiniest little bit. Nikki is definitely a full-on queen, and she likes to get that contour snatched. I'm going to bake under my contour. I wonder how many times I've said Nikki in this video. Nikki is definitely a blush queen. I personally don't own that many blushes because I like to use eyeshadows for that. They just last longer and you can customize whatever shade you want. She's wearing like a peach blush in this photo. Let's mix something up. I'm taking the Revolution Alexis Stone palette, and I'm going to take the first shade and the first shade in the yellow portion. This is way too yellow. That's okay. Can fix that. So good. Okay, before I highlight, I'm going to spritz my face just so the highlighter sticks on better and I can finally melt a little bit of that powder finish off my face. I'm using Revolution Jake Jamie Tropal Quench Essence Spray. A full-on Jeffree Star moment there. And yeah, I actually don't care that I still have the bake on. I can just brush that off later. Okay, she is onto something. This looks amazing. We all know Nikki for her highlighter, so I'm going to be extra and use 2 because I don't have her collaboration with Ofra, unfortunately. But we're going to use Revolution Sophie instead, and this shade right here, my favorite. This is my base shade, and I'm actually going to take this at the front of my cheek as well. I don't usually do this. I don't personally need it. I have oily skin. My skin gets oily in that area naturally, but today we're gonna be like Nikki. I'm also going to use this shade to highlight my Cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and my bridge. Nikki also highlights above her brow, so let's do that just a little bit. Again, in my day-to-day life, I don't need this. And I'm going to highlight my chin. That is a lot of highlighter, but it looks very pretty. You thought I was done? I'm going to use another highlighter, Revolution Rose Gold Glow, and I'm going to take the pinkier shade. Okay, time to dust off the bake. And before I do my lips, I'm going to finish off the eyes. I'm picking up my Katosu palette and a smaller brush. I'm taking the lighter earth shade to stamp on my bottom lash line. Now I'm taking the darker shade, tiny little bit, to put on the lower lash line as well. In this picture in particularly, I can clearly see that Nikki has put some white liner into her waterline, so I'm doing that as well. Time to do the lashes. Today I'm using Lash Paradise, of course. I'm going to move on to the lips and then stick my lashes on. Nikki is a nude lipstick queen. I love that. That's my favorite as well. To line, because Nikki always uses liner, I'm going to use MUA Intense Color Lip Liner in Caramel Nougat. Let's try and give myself that Nikki pout. Can't really see it. For my lipstick, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury. Nikki likes Kim KW. I prefer Nude Kate. Alright, I definitely need to line my lips. I see why she does that. Final try, Barry M lip liner. This one doesn't have a name. It's just brown. And yes, I did go outside my lips because I wanted to make my lips look bigger. And then probably the bougiest of lip glosses, I own the Dior Lip Maximizer. This is a plumping gloss. Ooh, yes, I can feel the tingle. Ooh, I like that. For my lashes today, I'm using Sminko Piel and the style is Instagramove. Okay, you guys, so here it is. This is my final Nikki Tutorials transformation. I hope you like it. I love it. I was so worried I wasn't gonna look like Nikkie, and to be honest, I'm not that. We don't look that alike. I feel like I was told I look like Nikkie several times, and I would love to know if you think so too. I hope you enjoyed this look. I know I used a lot of products, but trust me, you don't need to. You know, I primed, I did the whole shebang, and I kind of love it. I definitely took away a lot of interesting techniques that I will apply in my day-to-day life. Again, I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next time. You are the best.